and welcome to another exciting edition of the Property Show, the home of property solutions. In the fast-changing world of real estate, the challenges facing the industry grow more and more unpredictable, with potential home buyers as well as investors finding the market conditions complex. Each week, here at the Property Show, we bring sound and timely solutions to real estate concerns. Our property pick of the week shines a light on a collection of residential options ideal as fast homes as well as investments with good returns. Later on, catch a conversation on how Kenya Railways is opening the real estate landscape.
One other new project which is coming in is the development of the logistics hub for grains and bulk cargo.
The transition journey from Barclays to Absa and what we should be expecting from Absa going forward.
Absa, from a personality perspective, agile, fun, energetic.
The property news talks to movers and shakers impacting the sector.
Thank you to all of those who've supported us, and to promise you that this is only the beginning of greater things to come.
The accessory spot highlights instant makeover with art decor. And on the home ownership segment, we share a tried and tested story of getting onto the property ladder.
I felt very fulfilled.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And you know, homes give people a lot of security.
They do.
Our social media handles are open. Let's interact. As always, there is something for everyone. Whether you're just starting out and are looking for an affordable home, or you are an experienced real estate investor, wherever you are, the property pick of the week has options you can put your money on. We kick off with the development of 3-bedroom apartments, ideal for people looking for something with a bit more space. This project offers a new way of living with impeccable designs, high-end finishes, and a competitive price tag. Valeria Apartments.
Bandari Apartments offer the privacy of community living with high-level security. The development will comprise of 3 blocks of 198 3-bedroom units. The apartments come in 2 sizes, middle units of 168 square meters, while the corner apartments have size of 171 square meters. Accommodation features include spacious lounge-cum-dining opening to the balcony, open-plan kitchen fitted with MDF high and low-level cabinets and granite worktop, pantry, laundry area, visitors' cloakroom. All bedrooms are en-suite and fitted with MDF wardrobes, en-suite domestic staff quarter. Salient features include perimeter wall, cabro-paved driveways, ample parking, 2 high-speed lifts, common areas power backup, landscaping, children's play area, underground and overhead storage water tanks, internet and NATV connectivity, main and borehole water supply, and solar water heating.
Another interesting investment option offering the best of both worlds, city life with country vibes, Lifestyle Heights Apartments. This exclusive gated community ticks all the boxes for location, quiet neighborhood, workmanship, space, balcony, 24-hour security with a manned gate, plus all amenities ideal for a modern family.
The Lifestyle Estates bring to you the lifestyle you always wanted at Lifestyle Heights Apartments. Lifestyle Heights Apartments consist of 2 and 3 bedroom deluxe and standard apartments. 3 bedroom deluxe apartments have a plinth area of 132 square meters, while the standard has a plinth area of 115 square meters, and the 2 bedroom deluxe apartment has plinth area of 100 square meters, and the standard has 81 square meters. This development comprises 472 units master ensuite. It is conveniently located along Roiro Kiambu Road, 20 kilometers from Nairobi CBD. Accommodation features include a hardwood mahogany door that invites you to a spacious lounge fitted with large windows to allow in natural light. The mid-wall has special effect, setting it apart from the other walls, making it unique. An aluminum door seamlessly leads you to the beautifully tiled balcony, which can act as a chill spot for you and your family. The kitchen comes fitted with tiled walls which are accentuated with upper and lower cabinets, which offer sufficient storage. While in the kitchen, there is a door which leads to Dobby area, which is also fitted with well laid out tiles and a sink plus tub. The master bedroom is fitted with large windows that let in natural light. The spacious inbuilt cupboards provide a sufficient storage, a dressing counter. Given that it's en suite, the bathroom consists of a shower cubicle fitted with a rain shower head system. The 2 bedrooms also consist of spacious inbuilt closets, complete with large windows. They share a common bathroom, which is fitted with tiles. Social amenities include a perimeter wall with electric fence, ample parking space allocated to each home providing enough parking space, cobble-paved roads, sufficient water storage, children play area, basketball and tennis ball courts, standby generators for power backup, commercial centers, inbuilt TV and internet points, and high-speed lifts. Schools located along this area include Wood Creek School, Nova Pioneer School, and Kenyatta University.
The next option takes us to Waiyaki Ridge Gardens. These 2 and 3 bedroom apartments offer a taste of opulence with key ultra-modern features. Let's have a look.
Located along Waiyaki Way, Waiyaki Ridge Gardens are 2 and 3 bedroom apartments 200 meters off Waiyaki Way. The apartments feature large open-plan living area, spacious well-fitted kitchen, and ensuite master bedroom. The amenities include 6 high-speed lifts, backup generators, playground, razor wire or electric fence, 24/7 CCTV surveillance, and borehole. The apartments are in close proximity to Kianda School and Nairobi School. The development has easy access to Westlands with amenities such as the mall, Westgate Mall, and Sarit Center.
Another option you can put your money on is an iconic commercial and residential address, strategically located at the heart of Westlands, home to several banks and a thriving business and entertainment community. The highlight of this beautiful development is the open and efficient floor plan designs with a lot of natural light, a rooftop skywalk and swimming pool, bringing Dubai, New York and London feel. Let's have a look.
Lamacq is a state-of-the-art 24-story building with a mix of residential, commercial and recreational spaces. Their development is strategically located at the heart of Westlands off Waiyaki Way, benefiting from Westlands amenities or being on the off-route, lending its excellent accessibility from Nairobi's growing infrastructure network. The first 6 floors are dedicated to commercial spaces. The 7th floor is the service area. The 8th to 20th floors are residential apartments. 23rd is for conferencing facilities, and the 24th is for recreational activities including a gym, swimming pool, steam and sauna, a skywalk, restaurant and bar, as well as a terrace. The development consists of 1, 2 and 3 bedroom residential apartments. The 1 and 3 bedrooms are sold out but available to let. The amenities in the 2 bedrooms include open-plan spaces that are designed to optimize functionality while exuding a luxurious feel. Various sizes of 2 bedrooms, master ensuite, starting from a plinth area of 73 square meters to 107 square meters. Built-in wardrobes, a modern, open-plan, fully fitted kitchen with a microwave, oven, dishwasher, washing machine and the hood. Kitchen opens to the dining area. Spacious lounge with floor-to-ceiling windows overseeing beautiful views of the city as well as the hills. Salient features include tight security from the 24-hour CCTV surveillance, guards, entry access card for tenants and visitors, centralized gas and hot water supply, fiber optic connectivity on all floors, 7 high-speed lifts, ample parking space on 3 basements with a mechanical system. The building has access for the disabled. There are also commercial spaces available from 147 square meters, and they benefit from the Lamacq internal environment and recreational facilities, and the tenants are at liberty to customize their interiors. The prices are on inquiry.
We wrap up the property pick of the week segment with the site and service land scheme located in Ongata Rongai in a secure and tranquil neighborhood. These individual serviced plots come with water, electricity and an all-weather road network within the estate, Savannah Park.
Savannah Park Rongai is located in the outskirts of Ongata Rongai town, which is one of the satellite towns 10 kilometers northwest of Nairobi city. The property is near the road linking Ongata Rongai, Nazarene University and the new SGR station. The road from the SGR to Savannah Park is graded to Maram standard and is just a 5-minute drive to the entrance gate. Savannah Park Rongai has 200 plots located 1 kilometer from the new Rongai Kiserian SGR railway station and 3 kilometers from Nazarene University. The plots are suitable for residential homes due to the close proximity to the famous Rimpa Conservancy. They also offer a beautiful view of Gong Hills. The plots are fully serviced with piped water, a borehole and electricity on site. Each individual plot is fenced after payment is complete. The site and service land scheme also has a plan of 3 and 4 bedroom maissonettes with a team of professionals to help jumpstart your home ownership journey. This comes at a separate fee.
Here at First Avenue, we have far more than property listings. We give instant access to a lot of relevant information on the sector, including legal and financial guidance. We also arrange private site visits. And for plot owners, our seamless turnkey solution is the answer to get your perfect home. Just give us a call and let's get started. Adding wall decor into a space is an easy way to give an instant, fresh look in any room. Next, the accessory spot with ideas that give you just that.
There are many ways to turn that plain wall in your home into a masterpiece with modern-day decor. Store memories in a gallery wall. Have pictures with frames of family and friends arranged close to each other to create a pattern. To make the space look bigger, extend the gallery wall upwards towards the ceiling. Hang baskets or plates on a wall. For a touch of uniqueness in your home, hang unique plates and baskets to create a patterned decor. For the perfect outcome, stick sample paper plates to give you an idea of how it would look at the end. Use hooks to hang the baskets to avoid damaging the wall. Another unique way of sprucing your home is by painting the walls with chalkboard paint. Perfect for the kids to write on and for friends who visit you to write a short message on the wall. A chalkboard lends a rustic air to any room and is also a great way to create memories. Paint a mural. A mural is any kind of artwork painted directly on the wall. A mural will transform your entire house magnificently because it is artistic and noticeable. To use a mural as a wall decor, your wall needs to be clean and free from cracks. Showcase fabric. A tapestry or wall hanging can add color and pattern, as well as a sense of softness to a space. Consider framing vintage scarves or other pretty textiles. Add in plants on your walls. Plants don't just have to sit on the windowsill or floors. Try hanging or wall-mounted planters to add a bit of nature to your space and life to your walls. Use shelves for aesthetics and storage. Shelves can be used to store your items and give the blank wall some elegance. You can play around with the sizes and pattern on the wall. Try using a bright and bold paint color to create an accent wall, or bring in pattern with wallpaper, stenciling, or other decorative paint techniques.
Next week, the accessory spot continues with decor trends that instantly freshen a room into luxurious spaces. Moving on, last week we started a conversation unpacking the brand transition from Barclays to Absa. Let's catch up on what the future holds with Absa. Let's talk about the transition and what we should be expecting.
We've been on a real journey for almost 3 years now since the first announcements were made, and we've taken the time to do what we're calling, so we have a brand and name change as well as separation. So the separation is basically separating from Barclays in terms of platforms, in terms of systems and things like that, and then transitioning now into what we're calling the name Absa, but a brand which encapsulates more than just a name, as you very well know. A brand stands for many things. But before we actually talk about the brand, I think it's important to say that for us, this is not just a change in name and color. It's a change in the way we intend to operate in this market in Kenya and in Africa and the world at large. And some of the things that we've been doing is really going through a soul searching, shall I call it. So from an internal perspective, we've looked deep, looked hard and said, what needs to change in order for us to be able to deliver in this new era in the way that we intend to. So we've done a lot of things in terms of running cultural programs to transform the culture of our business. So internally, lots of programs that have helped people first embrace the change and then become advocates for the change that's coming, and at a substantive level talk to the fact that what we want to be seen as is a business that's obsessed with the customer. So we call it customer obsession, which essentially means that the customer is at the front and center of everything that we do. So that's one of the key changes. The other change is really around interrogating and working with the different stakeholders, both customers, non-customers, Kenyans at large, listening to them, connecting with them in order for us to be able to provide and offer solutions that actually resonate with the market. So what we're saying is that we do not want to be just a color change. We want to take this opportunity to first reflect on who we are, reflect on what we would like to be, and then post that deliver at a higher level than ever before. So that's essentially where this conversation is taking us. And one of the key areas where we have actually had a real hard look at is the SME area, MSME. That's a heartbeat of Kenya, and not operating that area would be, would not be wise, so to speak. So we looked at that area and said, how can we partner with the businesses to give them something that will enable them to achieve their ambitions? And we came up with this program called Wezesha Biashara na Barclays. Now, Wezesha Biashara na Barclays is really quite something in the sense that if I just tell you a bit about what it is that it offers, up to 10 million unsecured. And if you're a repeat customer who has performed well on their loan in 6 months, you can access up to 30 million unsecured. I think that's music to any SME's ears.
Exactly.
We offer LPO financing, invoice factoring. We also do trade bills and all those instruments that enable trade. So Wezesha Biashara na Barclays is one of the things that I'm particularly proud of right now, because it demonstrates that we are committed to meeting the needs of Kenyans, or to working with Kenyans at the point of their highest interest, which in this case is SME. We also have a fabulous mortgage offering. I know you know about that because you partnered with us.
I work with you very closely on that one.
And so that, again, I think the highlight of that one really is to say we've reorganized it, repackaged it, and we're now offering 100% financing. So that's not bad, yeah. When it comes to the retail customer at a smaller ticket level, we have the Timiza mobile lending platform, but now we've enhanced that with a savings wallet, or a savings module. Because the other thing we're also saying is that we'd like to really enhance the savings culture and support the savings culture in this country, because we all know that savings is at the core of growth, yeah, because that's what you then use to invest, etc. So we have some very interesting things from that perspective. So our commitment as we transition to Absa is to ensure that we, whether it's through digitization, automation, and generally the customer experience that we deliver, what we are intending to do is make it easier, faster, and better for the customer.
Sounds interesting. As a brand perspective, how do you expect the Absa brand to show up?
So that's a good question, and I think the Absa brand is, we're here in what we call the sprint room, which is one of our spaces, and as you can see, there's lots of color. But before the color, let me first talk about the personality. So the Absa brand is excited about the fact that we are going to be an energetic brand, agile, which means that we're going to be, very ready to move with you, fun, so no stodginess and what have you. Here we are to make everything enjoyable, both internally and externally. So I think from a personality perspective, agile, fun, energetic is kind of where we're going. That's what you should expect. That's what you should expect. And if you don't see that, please hold us to account. From a values perspective, so of course you can't all be about the trimmings. You need to look at the core. We've examined ourselves and said, okay, what values do we want to embrace as we get into this? The first one is our people are our strength. And that's really just recognizing that without the people in the business, there's nothing. So our people are our strength, so a strong and deep commitment in ensuring that they are equipped, that they're enthused, that they're energized, and that they're advocates, and that they find a place within Absa that really brings their purpose to life. And then the other thing we said, we will be driving for high performance to drive sustainable growth, because again, you know, at the end of the day, the world runs on money. So we have to generate it in order for us to use it, in order for us to invest, in order for us to basically grow. And we say sustainable because I think it is important that we talk about the sustainability. It's not irresponsible. So whether it's responsible lending, whether it's the environment, whether it's how we partner with our ecosystems, that sustainability is something that we are very determined. Finally, which is also quite exciting for me, the final value is an African heartbeat. This is the thing about being rooted, first and foremost, to recognize who we are. So whether African or Kenyan, to come from a place of strength, because you can't actually build new things if you're mimicking or imitating. So let's first get good with who we are. Understand how we operate, what it is that works in our environment, understand the psyche of the people, understand our own psyche. Our culture is a beautiful culture. It's vibrant. It's togetherness. You know, we have that whole thing of Ubuntu. If you in South Africa, here there is something we call Harambe, ama Umoja. You know, so that business of working together, not leaving any man behind, growing together, it's a truly African thing. And those are the things we're saying we want to imbue into our business, so that way it's a business with a heart.
This transition looks interesting, and here at the Property Show, we shall continue unpacking the journey every step of the way. We are taking a short break. We'll be back with movers and shakers impacting the sector. A conversation on how Kenya Railways is a game changer, redefining transport, hospitality, real estate, and the economy at large. Don't go away. We'll be right back after the break. We are back. You're watching The Property Show. Last week, we started a conversation on how Kenya Railways is opening up the real estate landscape. Let's continue that conversation with Mr. CLA.
Let's talk about the Malaba line. When do you expect it to be rehabilitated, and how will that impact make it even easier for transport on that line?
We expect that we should be able to rehabilitate the Naivasha Malaba line by next year. It is a complete line of 470 kilometers. This is the meter gauge railway line, and being a corridor serving Nakuru, Naivasha, Eldoret, Webuye, Bungoma up to Malaba, I could say one of the corridors which have potential to serve those markets. Once we rehabilitate this line, we are able to link, because SGR services train brings in an average of more than 108 containers per train. We want to make sure that it will have a good evacuation under the meter gauge by having a reliable line between Naivasha and Malaba. What this means is that we will be able now to deliver cargo from Mombasa to Kampala via Malaba within a record time of 24 hours. Currently, it is 10 days to deliver cargo from Mombasa to Kampala. This will actually be a game changer. Therefore, the customers in the regional states, the partner regional countries of Uganda, DRC, Congo, Rwanda, and South Sudan, will now go into a model of operation which we are saying just-in-time order for your goods. They will come within 24 hours from the time it is discharged at the port of Mombasa to the time you receive them at your facility in whichever area in these countries.
And what other developments are in the pipeline for Kenyans to expect?
Kenya Railways has the strategic plan of delivering on the various services. One other new project which is coming in is the development of the logistics hub for grains and bulk cargo in Athi River. This one will be able to receive the cargo. This will be similar to the ICD, but it is targeting the break bulk cargo and the clinker, especially for the industries which are located within that area. We have more than 7 industries in Athi River manufacturing cement, and we want to develop those services through a logistics hub. In that aspect, Kenya Railways, through the government, sourced for 900 acres of land and to work it and develop it under the private-public partnership to be able to provide services that can receive these products. And this is one area. The other area of development, we are looking at rolling out transportation of vehicle units coming in through the port of Mombasa, through the Madaraka Express. And this is in plan, which is at the advanced stage. We should be able to see the trials in the next few months. What we are assuring the public is that we want to deliver your units safe, secure, and efficiently through the Madaraka Express. And on arrival at Nairobi Freight Terminal, they will be taken by the owners under the intermodal service, where we either load them onto the trucks or we drive the units to the nearest place for purposes of selling. This is one area we are doing as Kenya Railways. Apart from that, there are new projects going on under the commuter rail services to make sure that the Kenyans are able to move from point A to B to provide what is required in the economy. The development of the commuter services within Nairobi is at a very high stage. You are aware that 10 stations have been fully constructed, and we are rehabilitating the lines within the Nairobi. We are looking at ensuring that we have what we call the diesel multiple units. The diesel multiple units are trains which operate like the ones you see in other countries for the town service. They are very flexible, and they will be operating throughout the day to make sure that Kenyans are able to reach their place of work without wasting time on the traffic. This is actually like a mass transit system which Kenya Railways is implementing at the moment.
Asante sana for your insights. May perhaps you could finally give us your thoughts on how you see Kenya Railways opening up the real estate landscape across the country.
Thank you for that. Every development must have an infrastructure or a railway line or a road next to it. With these developments we are putting in place and what have been put in place, the investors will now look at the option of developing properties. People will require housing, people will require shopping malls, people will require the amenities, because now they don't need to stay within the central business district. What they need to do is that we have a system which will bring them reliably and effectively to where they are supposed to be working. But now there is need to improve on the housing facilities and all other amenities within those particular areas. And we say, for example, I will give you an example of that particular. Nairobi City developed because of the railway coming to Nairobi City. It did not develop as on its own. Where we have the railway network, the railway terminal, that is where we need to develop other properties to be able to gather and provide services for the Kenyans.
Indeed, Kenya Railways is a game changer, and we shall continue highlighting their services right here on The Property Show. It's time for news with movers and shakers impacting the sector. First, a sneak peek on ISK Regional Conference.
The objectives of the conference is to bring together professionals, academia, senior government officials in the land and the property sector from Africa. And the purpose is to discuss the issues and challenges within the surveying and land and property sectors. This conference, therefore, is a learning, sharing, and networking event. We have prepared for you an exciting 3 days program. We have very high caliber and respected professionals in their fields who will be speaking to us on topical and contemporary issues such as digitization of land administration and management processes, so that we can improve the ease of doing business in the land sector. We will also be looking at issues of the changing landscape of technology in surveying and mapping, unlocking new frontiers in real estate investments, land administration and management policies and legislation reforms in Africa. All these geared towards sustainable development as the theme of this year's conference. The land and property sector advancing Africa's sustainable development.
Land governance is actually a decision-making process, and it's the decisions that are made with regard to how people access land. If you're going to heed the call of the Kenya Investment Authority, you'll need to access land, how people use land, how those decisions are implemented, and how, if there is disputes arising, those are resolved. How do you reconcile conflicting interests? And I think I'm not wrong in saying that how land is acquired, retained, disposed of, used, managed, actually determines citizens' quality of life. And this then means that as land professionals, we have a grave responsibility. And of course, land professionals here, I'm using it broadly because there are many land professionals, and we need to collaborate as professionals so as to ensure proper governance of land. The Land Governance Assessment Framework provides us with a tool to actually look at where are we at and where do we want to go and what prevents us from getting there. My key takeaways are that 24 countries in Africa have already completed LGAF. So we already have some stock of knowledge, and this has provided space for comparisons and learning. And within the country, it's also provided us with opportunities to reflect. So we need to have all the key actors brought on board, and we must periodically revisit the assessment. 2016 to 2019, a lot of things have happened. And we need to bring all these actors back to see how are we doing. We must ensure that we have an evaluation and monitoring framework for following on with the recommendations. As just looking at the recommendations we made, and it's actually very good because we were talking about, then we didn't have a national land use policy, we didn't have a community land act, so when we were talking about security of land rights for communities, it wasn't there, even in law. We were also talking about there being no public physical planning act aligned to the constitutional and especially to the governance of counties and national government. So in essence then, we need to map the land governance issues as countries, assign them to the best placed actors, and then align them to national development so that we avoid conflict and we put resources, both human and financial, to the best possible use.
Last week, we witnessed a new dawn for MMC Africa law. Let's see how this historic moment went down.
by joining forces. We're just trying to respond to a trend in the market. There's a lot of things happening in Africa, a lot of investment coming into Africa, but also a lot happening among African countries. And what we're trying to do together as AFO and Co and MMC is to bring a response solution to that by building a law firm, world-class law firm, exclusively dedicated to Africa. We are responding to that need. Clients are investing more and more in Africa. They need sophistication. We are bringing that sophistication. But client also needs granularity, presence on the ground. That's why we have decided to build a global firm dedicated exclusively to Africa with credibility in the key jurisdictions. From today, I believe our colleagues at MMC, to their client, can say that they have their own teams in Abidjan, in Casablanca, in Johannesburg, and friends in, of course, the team in Paris and friends in Lagos and many other places. This is what is being new here for our team in Kenya, Nairobi and Mombasa.
Today marks a very exciting beginning for MMC. MMC is now known as MMC Asafo, and that means that we have a global presence with our focus in Africa. So for our clients who have any legal work, we'd like to tell you, come to MMC and we'll take you across the borders in Africa. The expertise we bring on board comprises of every legal service you can think about, starting from the commercial law. Those who want to go into real estate, we have expertise in real estate as well, not only in Kenya, but across Africa. Those who are looking to contract or list on the capital markets, please come to us and we'll show you the way. Anybody who has arbitration matters or litigation, that too we can do. So for us today is to say thank you to our clients, thank you to all of those who've supported us, and to promise you that this is only the beginning of greater things to come.
Every week, the Property News segment is at the forefront with new and exclusive pieces unfolding in the sector. And now, the home ownership journey with a tried and tested perspective on getting onto the property ladder. Home ownership discussion continues. Today we knock at Esther's door as she shares her inspiring journey to owning her dream home. Karibu sana on the show.
Thank you very much, Nancy.
Who is Esther?
Esther is a simple lady, a mother of two, a wife of one. I'm a career banker and I enjoy the outdoors.
When did you decide to buy your own home?
I've always wanted to have my own home. It's always been a journey. So I think the first walk into home ownership was as soon as I was able to afford a mortgage. And we bought a little flat that you helped us buy.
Yes.
Now the real challenge was always the home that we're going to raise our children in. And fortunately, we've been able to find that home about 2 years ago.
I remember when you wanted to buy the flat. You didn't want just anything. You gave me a list of the things you'd want and where you'd want it.
Yeah.
How was that? Because I think that was the most challenging time.
Buying the first house, we were very particular around where it was going to be, the area, because it had to be obviously accessible in terms of schools, in terms of shopping and medical amenities. Also, the finish of the house was really important to us. That little apartment still also has raw stone in it.
And a fireplace.
Yes, a fireplace, which is something that was quite dear to me. It's got nice wooden floors.
Exactly.
So it was just that, very nice, artistic, yet natural look that has always been attractive for me.
What would you tell an aspiring home buyer where to begin and what they should look out for?
For anyone who's aspiring to buy a home, I think you have to look at what you really like. You need to consider the shape of your family. Are you going to have children, no children? There's also considerations around security. Are you buying a property in an area that you feel is secure? That was a very key consideration for us. On top of that, I do think depending on what you like, if you have pets like I have pets, there needs to be a place at least for them to run around. So you really need to consider what you enjoy and then now take that to the area that you're looking for a house. And that will help you to get to where you want. But you really do have to save. It's not a cheap affair. So the more you have saved, the more options you have looked at, the better off you're going to be.
Because I know the apartment I helped you get, there was mortgage. What was the mortgage process?
It's quite interesting because the banks don't give you 100%. So there was a 10% deposit that was required, which had to come from savings. There's no other way you're going to fund it. On top of that, when you do go to the bank for a mortgage application, they look at your cash flow. So that's also one thing that you need to be building up regularly, which is a proper cash flow, because that's how you're going to be repaying the mortgage going forward. There are other considerations certainly with the bank, which meant that stamp duty had to be paid. They don't cover that as part of the mortgage. There are also legal costs, which you as the homeowner will have to make good on your own. There's also valuation fees, because remember, the bank is going to be taking the property as security. So they need to make sure that the value that you're purchasing the house for is equivalent to what they're going to be lending to you or even more. So that's a cost that has to come out of your pocket. The valuation is obviously a percentage of the cost of the property. So if you're buying a house for 10 million, it would be close to, say, between 1 and 5% of the value of the house. Also, in the event of any natural calamities like we've seen happening, insurance is very important. So there will be insurance of the property and also the contents inside. So that also comes from your pocket. This other additional costs will be 10% on top of what the mortgage value would be.
So 10% deposit,
correct,
and then another 10% closing costs.
Correct. And then when you walk into a house, the house is not always like you want it,
yes,
right? So you're always going to want to do something different to make it yours. So on top of looking for the legal fees and buying the house itself, there has to be a little bit of cushion around the things that you want to do inside of the house.
Wow. And after the apartment, you now bought this house. How was the journey to get now into your dream home?
You know, you're already paying one mortgage and that already keeps you awake at night. But, you know, based on managing your cash flows properly, that should not be a problem. But getting into the actual home that I'm in right now, it was a journey. It took us about 5 to 7 years to first of all identify the area that we wanted to live in. And once we identified the area we wanted to live in, we had to accelerate the payments on the apartment, because it's quite expensive to have 2 mortgages running at the same time. In that regard, we had to look at other options around how we could raise the money that's needed. Like we said, it's 10% on top of the purchase price that you're looking for.
Yes.
We then rented out the apartment so we could get a little bit of additional income, and looked at a place where we could afford to rent. And that was savings of up to 6 years on top of repaying the mortgage that we had. Once we were done with that, we were then able to find this property, which we then moved into.
Now you're in your home?
Yes, we've been in our home for 2 years now.
Fantastic. What would you do differently today if you had to start the journey again?
If I had to start the journey again, what I would do differently is save up a lot more. Yeah. The first opportunity I had to buy a house or a property was probably when I was about 23, and I was more interested in buying a car than buying a property. And the property that had been offered to me at that time was prime in Westlands, and it was interesting. That property was then bought by U Mobile. So the people who had properties in that area, it literally doubled. So I think all the people out there, it's your priorities. Property is a long-term investment, so you might not feel the immediate satisfaction, but it's something that will be with you for years and years to come. If I'd encourage anyone, it's get in and it will pay itself off. This house that we're in and the apartment that we're in has more than doubled over the years that we've had it. So that also becomes a saving. That's truly what an investment is.
Are you a homeowner? And what was your biggest takeaway from your journey? What can you tell those starting down this path? Just give us a call and we'll be delighted to share your experience. My shoot location is one of my favorite spots with the best delicious Swahili dishes. Nabo Residences, stylish living perfected. Thank you for watching The Property Show. Join me next week for engaging conversations with movers and shakers in the sector. A highlight of an estate you can call home with plenty of spaces to grow and create memories. Till then, let's keep talking on our social media handles. As always, there is something for everyone. Kwaheri.